Cable Sports is proud to present the high school volleyball match of the week. Tonight's LA City section matchup features the Carson Colts and the San Pedro Pirates. And we welcome you inside the gymnasium here in San Pedro High School for what should be a very entertaining and very passionate match between two teams that have a lot on the line. I'm Josh Sushon alongside Paul Westfall. Great to have you with us once again. So far in the Marine League play, Narbonne High has been the team to beat. They're undefeated. The two teams that we'll see tonight, they each have one loss, Paul, so they can't afford to have too many losses the next time they play Narbonne.
No question about that. Narbonne, San Pedro, and Carson have been the powerhouse teams in the Marine League for an awfully long time, and it's no different this year. As we look at the standings, Narbonne sits atop as we near the halfway point of league play with undefeated status, but San Pedro and Carson both with one loss. Now, the winner tonight keeps Narbonne firmly in their sights, but the loser will have two league losses, and Josh, it'll be very difficult to win a league championship with two losses.
And so let's take a look at some of the players that we will spotlight in today's game. Let's begin with the visitors, the Carson Colts. Precious Manu, huge smile and a great player.
Oh, tremendous multi-sport, all-around athlete. Last year she was primarily the setter, but this year, because of her all-around skills, in that 6-2 offense, they're going to use her as a setter in the back row and a hitter in the front row. And she told us before the match that she loves being a hitter because she likes to take that big swing.
She's going to get a lot of opportunities for big swings. How about San Pedro Pirates? Right in the middle, Mila Marisic.
Well, Mila missed last year due to injury, but she's 100% healthy this year, and she's a monster force in the middle. She's a tremendous blocker and a really good hitter as well from the middle, and so the Carson attack will have to be aware of where Mila is on every set.
It should be a very entertaining volleyball matchup here from San Pedro. Great to have you with us. Don't go anywhere. Should be a lot of excitement. We'll get going right after this break. For tonight's Marine League girls volleyball matchup. Carson High School against the San Pedro Pirates. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the starting lineups. We'll begin with the visiting team. That's the Carson High Colts. And their record is 6-7 overall. Precious Manu, already talked about her. Faufau Alua, Verdiana Ramos, Natalea Loai, Mariah Kunipipo Aguirre, Tawny Luafamala, and Mariah Robertson is the libero. Their head coach, they are led by Daniela Klein. There's Daniela, does such a great job with this Carson High program. You see her overall record, 86 wins, 35 losses in her 5th season at Carson High. And for the home team for San Pedro, take a look at their starting lineups. Fina Ojeda, we'll be talking a lot about her, the setter. Paige Peterson, Fernanda Lopez, Mila Medicic, Camila Taylor, Vanessa Ruiz, and Sierra Sanborn is the libero. There's Kyle Ross. He coaches the boys and the girls, and he coaches the freshmen, the JV, and the varsity here at San Pedro in his 3rd season. 19-18 is his overall record. I'm Josh Sushon alongside Paul Westfall. And Paul, it's going to be a little bit confusing. Both sides are in black, so it'll be Carson on the left side. Carson is the black uniforms and the white numbers. It's San Pedro on the right. They're in the black uniforms with the gold numbers.
Well, and first I want to compliment you on getting through some challenging names in our starting lineup. Well done, sir. But I'll tell you, this is a rivalry matchup, and it always is an electric atmosphere. This place has been rocking since the freshman match. But oddly enough, it's been a series of streaks. Carson has won the last 4 after San Pedro had won the 11 previous matches. So it's up to the Pirates tonight to see if they can right the ship. But the last time that they played in this building, Carson, it took them 5 to defeat the Pirates.
So we're expecting a very competitive matchup between these two teams. A lot of good storylines that we'll get into as well. As one of the assistant coaches for Carson used to be the head coach at San Pedro. There you got to look at Juan Reynaga. He's our referee. It'll be San Pedro to serve first. That was Fina Ojeda with the serve. Nice dig by Paige Peterson. Chance for Carson. And there's our first kill of the afternoon.
Well, perfect system that time for Carson. It was an excellent dig, and you'll take another look. Excellent pass, made the set easy for Manu, and the kill by Lua Falelamana.
And that serve was too long, so ties us up at 1-1. And again, it's the rally match serving, and so there's always a point. You don't need to be serving in order to score. This is Camila Taylor who will serve for San Pedro. And the timing off a little bit that time as they were trying to go back to Natalie Luai, who had the monster kill for the first point for Carson. So San Pedro with a 2-1 lead. Camila Taylor, a senior. And there's another ace that time for Taylor.
Just a little float serve, but this is perfectly placed. And despite the diving attempt by Lua Falelamana, another ace.
And the timing off a little bit there is Precious Manu not quite able to get it over the net. A little bit of an awkward angle that time for Manu, and so 4 straight points for San Pedro. And this time Taylor's serve goes into the net. Point for Carson.
And you mentioned the rally scoring, which is the best change that they've made in volleyball, maybe ever. But it certainly places a premium on exact serving. You can't just sort of lose your concentration there.
That was the first big swing from Mila Marisic, but that one went into the net, and so it's a point for Carson.
It looks to me like both teams, Josh, a little bit nervous. First of all, very important match. Second of all, we're here, and so far the setting has been less than precise.
The server is Tani Lua Falelamana. And there's a point that time for Precious Manu, and Carson, as she's opportunistic there with the ball right on the net.
Let's look again. This time the set was, or the chance for the kill, much easier for Precious.
Marisic with a big swing. And the point's going to go to San Pedro.
Yeah, we've got a net violation against Carson, nullifying what was a marvelous dig that time by Alalua. And there's the net violation. Point goes to the Pirates.
There's the first serve for Mila Marisic tonight. And we're going to have a...
This time we got a center line violation. You're allowed to step on the center line, but you cannot step over it. And the pass was a little too tight to the net, and it was a difficult situation for the setter. So once again, unforced errors. These girls they'll play better as the match wears on.
Big serve that time, almost looked like pinball the way the ball is bouncing off nets and players, and it's another point for San Pedro.
Well, another change in volleyball in recent years, even though it hit the top of the net. If it falls over, it's still in play. No more let serves.
And Mila Marisic missed last season. And another ace. I don't know if she's trying to do it on purpose, but it almost serves as like a changeup when it hits the top of the net.
Well, and she really has a lot of power. This is not a jump serve. She hits it flat-footed, but it's got a lot of miles per hour there, and that's quite a weapon.
Started playing volleyball because her older sister Anna was dominant. She said, I want to play the sport that my older sister's playing, as she serves that one into the net.
Anna was on the outstanding 2009 team that lost to Granada Hills in the finals. Anna went on to play at Kenyon College out there in Ohio.
This is Mariah Robertson, the libero, serving for Carson. Set for Lopez. And now there's a point for Mariah Kunipo, Aguirre, and Carson.
A very nice set by Robertson. There you'll see the libero with a perfect set, and down the line for the winner.
Robertson's a 5'6" senior. And that one's going to drop in for a point. Officials conferred before they make sure that the ball was in.
That's a tough decision for the serve received, and it was right on the line.
So 3 straight points now for Carson. punch that one over, and it's going to lead to another point for Carson. Mariah Kunipo Aguirre with a second straight kill.
Pretty nice reaction off a difficult set. She goes into the power alley, the deep corner, and it must have just hit the line. I thought that was headed out.
Yeah, so did I. We're tied at 8 now. Another chance for Carson to score. This is Manu using touch, a nice dig. And it's going to be another point for Carson, and so they're on a roll, 5 points in a row.
Nullified a nice dig by Ojeda as she went to the floor to keep it alive.
So San Pedro led 8-4. Now Carson leads 9-8. Make it 10-8 on another excellent serve by Mariah Robertson.
Substitution for the Pirates. We're going to get Vanessa Ruiz is going to come in. Garcia will come out.
So Robertson will keep serving. She has served 5 straight points for Carson. 6 points overall in the run. And a tough opportunity that time for Peterson, and another point for Carson.
But it looked like just poor communication on behalf of the Pirates, because the pass was good and it looked like a pretty good set, but nobody was there to receive the set until it was too late.
Just have to get that one over. Another good opportunity for Carson to score. This is Manu. A good block, but finds its way down for another point for Carson.
Once again, a very good pass results in a perfect set, and look at the big swing by Manu. She's only 5'7", but I'll tell you, she gets up there quite nice elevation, and she does have the hammer with that right hand swing.
Robertson continuing to serve extremely well, and that's going to result in another point for Carson.
Yeah, it hit the antenna, and Carson's on a roll here. San Pedro needs to do something to slow down the momentum, and a good serve receive would certainly help here. As you can see here, watch on the left of your screen, you can see as it grazes the antenna, point Carson.
Robertson setting Manu, and there's another point for Carson. Precious Manu showing that she can really swing it. There's a reason why BYU Hawaii is interested in her.
And once again, after a terrific pass, a great back set by Robertson and Manu, a really good decision to go down the line that time.
This is a 10-0 run for Carson. And once again, San Pedro just happy to get it over the net. Manu again. Nice dig by Ojeda. And finally a point for San Pedro to stop what was a 10-0 run.
Well, and that's the first time after a number of pretty good sets that someone for the Pirates took a big swing. And that time it was Peterson, and she gets the kill.
This is Vanessa Ruiz serving for San Pedro. A little bit too pumped up trying to get some points back, and so right back to Carson with the point. 15-9, Carson the lead.
And I talked earlier about how it's so important that you get the serve in, because they worked so hard to get a point on the previous rally, only to give it right back with an errant serve.
So here's Precious Manu. She told us that sometimes she'll do a jump serve depending on her confidence level. I guess her confidence is sky high right now, and there's a big serve. And it's going to lead to another point. Very impressive serve.
Yeah, and that is such a weapon when you can control it. It's difficult to control the pass, and there you see the overpass, and Carson recognizing it early. Ramos there with the put away.
And another really good serve by Manu. And now she's going to set. Timing off a little bit there, and so the point goes to San Pedro.
But you could see once again the powerful jump serve resulted in no offensive opportunity for the serve-receive team. They had all they could do to control the pass, and the overpass, that time Carson didn't take advantage.
Opportunity here for San Pedro to try and get on a roll. A big swing, but it's going to be out. As Kunipo Aguirre, a little bit too much fire on that one.
First, a very good system by San Pedro, and then Fernanda Lopez with a big swing put Carson on the defensive.
Good rally for both teams here. And that one's going to be out. And the point will go to Carson.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for the Pirates.
Again, with both teams wearing black uniforms, it's Carson on the left, serving right now with a 17-11 lead.
Very good.
That was Mariah Kunipo Aguirre with the serve. Camila Taylor trying to get a point for San Pedro. And the point goes to San Pedro as that shot was just a little bit out.
And the Pirates are failing to take advantage of some pretty good sets by Ojeda. And they got to be a little more aggressive up there. That time they just bumped it over, and I think I heard the coach say, you got to hit that.
Fernanda Lopez's serve is wide. So a number of service errors that we've seen, and it's an 18-12 lead for Carson.
And now it gets to be the time in the first where you can just trade points and you're in pretty good shape. So. And
that's going to be another point for Carson. Viridiana Ramos, who's getting recruited to play softball by Humboldt State and Alabama A&M. There's Ramos. She looks to serve another one. That one goes into the net. 19-13 is Carson's lead. San Pedro now needs to get on a roll about now.
And it starts with accurate serving. You have to concentrate here. You must put the ball in play and then get ready for your transition defense. But they do have Marisic back in the front row, and she'll make it tougher on him.
Set is for Marisic. A nice dig, though, by Kunipo Aguirre. Good rally. Camila Taylor from the outside scores the point that time for San Pedro.
Terrific decision after a good set. Watch the cut shot. That's a shot at a very steep angle with a little off speed to it. Off the block and in. That was well executed. Good play by Taylor.
Another serve for Fina Ojeda, one of the team captains. She's a senior, one of the team's best players. And we're going to have a...
Yeah, I think we got a center line violation there. And that, unfortunately, stops what looked like a little momentum change on behalf of the Pirates.
So the point goes to Carson. And this is Alalua with the serve into the net. 20-15. Another opportunity for San Pedro. This will be Camila Taylor who will serve. A set for Manu. A good dig. Another opportunity for San Pedro. This is Paige Peterson, but that one is going to be too long, and the point goes to Carson.
A very nice bump set by Ojeda, but Peterson a little bit tardy in her jump, kind of caught it on the way down, hit it well out.
This is Tani Lua Falamana with the serve, and she's going to get a point as Paige Peterson didn't mean to touch it. She was kind of in between on whether to let it go, and so 22-15 is the score for Carson. Another good serve by Lua Falamana. The back set for Mila, but it's blocked. Another chance for Carson. The middle attack and the point, that time by Natalie Luai.
And the sophomore with a world of upside. This is just a great point overall. We missed the excellent block on the kill attempt by Marisic, but terrific kill by Luai with authority.
Not a lot of great swings so far for San Pedro. Manu with a little finesse that time for the point, 1 point away from taking the first set.
She had not gone off speed all throughout the first, so no time like right now The double block was in really good position, and somehow Precious sized that up, made a great decision early, went off speed for the point.
Lua Falamana trying to serve it out. And Lua Falamana was just trying to get it over the net, leads to a point, and the first set goes to Carson, 25-15.
All started that winning point on a great dig by Robertson.
So we will take a break as the two teams switch sides. San Pedro will try to regroup after losing 25-15. Remember, they were ahead 8-4, but not quite able to sustain the momentum. Carson wins the first set. We'll be back with the second one right here on Time Warner Cable. San Pedro High School, Carson wins the first set 25-15. There's a look at head coach Daniela Klein, whose team is looking to get back to 500 overall on the year. Great story for Daniela Klein. Josh Sushon alongside Paul Westfall is, let's face it, a lot of the names that we've been saying, Manu, Cunapio, Aguirre. Let's face it, volleyball is mostly a white sport, but it's been changing, and Daniela Klein really says that she really likes the opportunity to introduce this sport to different cultures, and you're seeing more and more ethnicities playing this great game of volleyball.
No question about it. And for parents who have athletic kids, you know, there are some great scholarship opportunities for both boys and girls volleyball. And as I tell parents for years and years and years, if you can get college partially or all paid for through athletics, and it's all been very worthwhile. So and we talked about a couple of these young ladies here in this match that are being looked at by universities, and so gosh, if you know, there are other sports outlets other than the traditional ones that you think of for college scholarships.
And we were talking to Precious Manu before today's match, and she said no one from her family had ever played volleyball. Her brothers played football, her dad played football, her dad's sisters played softball, but she found the sport of volleyball, loved it, continues to play at club, and now she's hoping that she can continue to play at the next level as well.
Indeed, and you can just see the athleticism. She's a terrific all-around skilled player.
And she's got a big fan club in the stands as well.
And there you are, you got to like that, and I just think that when you're 5'7" and you're as powerful an outside hitter as she is, obviously she'll play at a different position at the next level, probably setter, but she understands the game for not being that, having played that long. She makes great decisions.
So it's Carson on the right and San Pedro on the left. Ojeda to set for Mila Marishik, and a big dig by Mariah Robertson. Another opportunity for San Pedro. They'll set Camila Taylor this time, but that one is long, or it was tipped.
I thought so, but it was not called that way. So obviously there was no touch. I thought there might have been a touch at the net, but the referees, who's got a much better view of it than I, said no, so point goes to Carson.
And make it 2 in a row for Carson as that kill opportunity went wide. This is Fau Alalua with the serve, trying to make it 3 in a row. That one's a little bit too low into the net. Let's see what San Pedro could do. Really couldn't get into much of a groove serving in the first set. Paul.
No, and I think you've hit the nail on the head. They got off to a good start and led early in the first, but then a number of serving errors and then some errant passes did them in the first.
And once again, that is Natalie Luai, 6'1" sophomore. You mentioned in the first set, a lot of talent. We see she's tall and she can jump.
Well, and the set was a bit tight, and that's just good recognition to understand that I've got to get up a little bit earlier than I wanted to, and just the tip over the blocker for the point.
That was Lua Falamala with the serve. Manu, a big swing and another point.
And they're just getting a solo block. That time Mila, she needs a little help up there. They got to close that block. She's got to get a teammate up there.
Nice job playing that one off the net by Ojeda to keep it alive. They set Manu. That one might have been tipped at the net. The officials are still converging, and it will be.
They're going to say that it hit the line. Apparently so. The line judge said she didn't see it, and so our head referee must make the call, and he did.
And the point goes to Carson, but that's served into the net. So 5-2, Carson with the lead. Is San Pedro serving. It's Camila Taylor. A high short serve. And a good block, but nobody there for the dig, and so Carson continuing its dominance so far.
But much better defense as the Pirates got a double block up there this time, and you can see had there been a little better communication in the back line, that would have been an offensive chance in transition.
This is Mariah Robertson, who had excellent serving in the first set. Another good serve there. The back set. Nice dig that time by Fernanda Lopez, and that's something that San Pedro needed. They get the point as well.
That's a great play. First of all, a terrific slide. Watch on the back set and bang, but a terrific up by Lopez for the point.
Marashik to serve. That was Lopez with another good dig. And another chance for Carson. And that point will be in. Make it 7-3 now for Carson.
As you can see here, the ball very much in, but some miscommunication whenever you've got two players that suddenly look at each other. It was just a case of where each one thought the other one had it covered. Now let's watch the big jump serve.
This is Precious Manu. She has 6 kills. That serve was a bit too wide, however.
But it didn't miss by much, and if I'm Manu, I'm not going to give up on that jump serve the next time I get around in the rotation.
This is Vanessa Ruiz who will serve for San Pedro, the senior. Timing off a little bit that time, trying to go to Viridama Ramos, and so a rare back-to-back points for San Pedro. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going.
Indeed, once again that set, the back set a little bit too tight. Ramos didn't have anything she could do with that. Plus, it seemed like she got there about a step too late.
That serve was wide. Point for Carson. 8-5.
Unfortunate, Josh. Ruiz has got some miles per hour behind that thing, and it was just a little bit wide. But that's a weapon that the Pirates, I'm sure, they'll can't wait for her to get back around in the rotation.
This is Mariah Kunipo-Aguirre with the serve, and it's going to lead to a quick point.
Well, unfortunately, Taylor kind of got caught in a difficult spot, whether to hit that with an overhand pass. Instead, she tried to hit it with both hands, and it just didn't work out.
Once again, not a lot of great swings for San Pedro. Meanwhile, on the other side, Carson taking big swings. And there's a good point that time for San Pedro as Fernanda Lopez, the senior who transferred from Banning High School, is able to get the point that time. For San Pedro.
It all started, though, with a great up from Peterson to keep that play alive.
Served by Peterson. And that was impressive teamwork that time by Fernanda Lopez and Fina Ojeda. They were right next to each other, needed to improvise.
Well, and Lopez did a great reaction by Lopez to get it started, and then Ojeda knew to go right back to her. It was an easy set and a terrific kill.
And make it 3 points in a row for San Pedro. And the Pirates needed some momentum now, trailing 9-8. And Paige Peterson will continue to serve.
And it's just, you know, you work so hard sometimes times to get back to a chance to get back to even, and those service errors will just eat you up.
And that's the beauty and the frustration of the rally serving. This is Viridiana Ramos to serve. 5'10" senior. Ojeda the set. Again, Ojeda will set this time. Camila Taylor. Very nice digging by Carson. And a point for Carson.
I was just about to comment that the passing for the Pirates much better here in this second than in the first, and then just a well-placed big swing from Carson gets them back in front.
And this is going to be tough just to get this one over the net. Nice job by Lopez just to get it over. And unfortunately, Fernanda Lopez, the middle blocker, she gets so far away she doesn't have time to get back to that block.
Yeah, and you've nailed it, Josh. That's exactly what she said to Coach Ross was, I had to go retrieve that one. By the time I got back there, it was too late.
3 points in a row for Carson, leading 12-8. Much needed point there for San Pedro as Camila Taylor just getting the ball over the net, and it leads to a point.
But a very good set by Ojeda. I've been very impressed with how Ojeda orchestrates the offense. I think her teammates need to get a little more aggressive, knowing that the set's going to be there for them. There are some opportunities.
Nice serve by Fernanda Lopez, but an even better dig, and it's going to result in a point for Carson. I've been very impressed with the way that the libero, Mariah Robertson, and her teammates have been able to dig.
And sometimes just hustle will win you the point. I think the Pirates felt that that one was already in the bag, and then
they kind of gave up a little bit.
Yeah, just a great get, and everybody was caught flat-footed.
This is the freshman, Livia Iasua, who will serve for the first time. And Ojeda tried to find a little gap there, but instead set it right over the net and out of bounds.
Well, that's the first time she's tried to dump, and it's good to do that at least a couple of times a set just to keep the blockers off rhythm a little bit, but it just went wide.
And that's a tough spot to do it from too, right there.
Yeah.
Right up against the edge. And so a timeout will be called by San Pedro.
I think that's a good timeout by Coach Ross. And there you'll see another ace as the serve receive is shanked. And I will say that I think Carson's had the better of the serving.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Sandwich Saloon. Since 1986, the Scrumbus and Philopolis families have been reinventing home-style food with new ideas for salads, sandwiches, hamburgers, and more. Customers know that when they get into the Sandwich Saloon, they will be greeted with warmth and an ingratiating smile. Their delicious food is equally matched by a warm feeling of family and community. The Sandwich Saloon, quality great food since 1986. I know that our crew can definitely attest to all of that. An excellent meal.
Very nice. No wonder they were all smiling. Hard-working bunch, and they enjoy eating.
So Carson, the 15-9 lead. This is Livia Iasua with another serve. That one's going to be in. Make it 16-9. So the freshman comes off the bench, and she served 3 straight points.
And she's got
good call.
A rocket.
Anytime you play on the varsity as a freshman, I don't care what the sport is, you're very good. Point there for San Pedro.
I think Mila's a little bit surprised, a slight mishit, but sometimes that works out nicely because it's a little bit of a change of pace. Maybe that'll get Mila started.
Well, she's been fairly quiet. This is Fina Ojeda, the serve. Good dig by Robertson. A big swing that time by Manu, but it's out, and the point goes to San Pedro.
Yeah, off the antenna, and this is the kind of rhythm you'll see it again. Off a good serve, a nice dig, but it wound up being a difficult set.
And we're going violation and a point for San Pedro. And now the Pirates have scored 3 straight points to cut the lead to 4.
Coach Klein is saying that the antenna is a little bit askew due to the fact that it was hit with some velocity on the previous violation, and so they're going to attend to that. That's pretty good vision by Coach Klein.
Coaches don't miss anything.
No, they don't, and if it's leaning where they think their team will be at a disadvantage, I like that. That's heads-up coaching.
So back to Ojeda with the serve. Block forced Manu to just go a little bit more finesse. Taylor gets it over. Ojeda the set for Taylor. And that'll be out, and the point for Carson.
I'll tell you, the serve received from Robertson, number 5, the libero for Carson, has been superb. She has gotten to some very difficult serves here in the second, and that gets your system in motion, and it's been a big plus for Carson.
This time they go to their best player, and Mila Marishik, right down the middle for the kill.
Yeah, that was perfect rhythm that time. A very good pass and a perfect set. Bang! That had some heat.
Trailing by 4, Camila Taylor to serve. And that one goes into the net. A little frustration on her face.
Yeah, she feels bad. Concentration, though. You must concentrate on that serve. It's such an important part of the entire volleyball landscape now.
So here's the libero, Mariah Robertson, who's been doing such an excellent job digging. She's had some great serves as well. And Carson just has to scramble to get this one over the net. They will. Good opportunity for San Pedro. The set for Mila. And that time it was Kiana Guzman with the dig. Manu might have been a missed hit, but it's another point for Carson.
And you hit the nail right on the head, Josh. You know, there are times when that paintbrush effect where you just sort of paint the outside edge of the volleyball works out nicely because the double block was in position, but you really can't set up for that kind of a kill.
That one might have been hooking out or to the side, but it's another point for Carson. So once again, Mariah Robertson, she had a lot of big serves that led to a huge run in the first set for Carson. Carson won the first set 25-15, leading here by 7, make it an 8-point lead as Robertson's been on fire with the serve.
Once again, Tiffany Canlapan, who we weren't sure we would see in the match today, just got started a touch late. Perfectly executed serve.
And there's going to be yet another point, and there's some frustration along the back line for San Pedro about who's going to take a serve that's looks like it has a little bit of a knuckle to it as well.
Yeah, it's moving a little bit, but that time Sanborn and Canlapan just got a little bit of miscommunication.
And that time 2 players diving forward, and the frustration continuing there as everyone's trying to do something here, and the communication just not quite there.
Yeah, this is just, once again, well-executed serve, but it shows how if you just get it in play, how sometimes you can create a defensive lapse.
Paige Peterson gets it blocked right back at her, as that was Viridama Ramos and Mariah Kunipo Aguirre. Roofing.
You'll see the double block get set up. There is no seam in between those arms. The off-speed play may have been a better option that time.
7-0 run, trying to close it out with the serve is Mariah Robertson. Back to Mila. There's the dig. A chance to win the set. And Mila this time will set it up, and that point is out.
Yes.
And that's the match. Or, excuse me, that's the set. 25-13 is that. It's been all San Pedro here as they're, all San Pedro struggling here. All Carson, 25-15 in the first set, 25-13 in the second set. We will take a timeout, then we will come back and we will see if San Pedro can regroup or whether Carson can close it out with 3 straight sets. Big hits and miss hits have all led to kills so far for Carson. Carson High has taken the first 2 sets, 25-15 and 25-13. We'll see if San Pedro, the home team, can get back into this one. For Kyle Ross, there he is. Good look at him. He's a guy he's a full-time electrician. He just loves volleyball, played some beach volleyball, went to high school here, graduated 2002, coaches the boys, coaches the girls, coaches the freshmen, the JV, the varsity. Just wanted to give back to the school. And he's got his work cut out for him to try and get his team back into this match, Paul.
Oh, it's the truth, but I've seen plenty of matches where a team will lose the first 2, and then once they get some good things happening, the adrenaline starts flowing, everybody has a little quicker step, they jump a little higher. So I think the Pirates just need to have some good things happen early here in the third, because their body language in the second, they were serving at 13-17 and had a bit of a run, and then there was a point for Carson, and then the Colts just went on a big-time serving run, and you got to hand it to Robertson. She's been outstanding in the match so far. Yep. But let's see if the Pirates can get off to the right foot here early in the third. Otherwise, I think Carson's going to, their body language, their confidence level seems a little higher.
Fina Ojeda will start it off as she has a good deep serve. Ojeda the set. And now an opportunity for Lua Falamala. And that's going to result in a point for Carson.
I thought that Ojeda, who has made some wonderful decisions in the match, I thought she was going to set it back for Marisic that time, but instead she went over her head to the outside hitter. And at this point, I think you need to get Mila involved. She seems to be the one who can best take on the challenge of the blockers at the net for Carson.
This is Tiffany Kalapin. She's been battling an ankle injury. Good to see her back out and able to play tonight. And another point for Carson as Natalie Luai is able to come up with a point.
I'll tell you, I've been very impressed. Watch as Natalie, a pretty good idea as she rises up what she wants to do with that, and she tools it off the block for another kill.
She's got a great future, only a sophomore. They're going to set Natalie Luai. Why not? She's on a roll.
Well, and it all starts with a perfect pass. We'll see an outstanding pass and the quick set. That's an easy one for Luai.
Lua Falamana continuing to serve. The back set for Mila. And that one's going to be off the hands on the point for San Pedro.
Very good decision that time. Go with the back set. I just think at this juncture of the match, you've got to get that young lady involved. She told us before the match that although she's an outstanding middle blocker, she loves the kill, and so no time like the present. They may even want to set her from the back row.
Big serve that time for Mila. And a great effort that time on the part of San Pedro, but they can't quite keep the ball alive, and another point for Carson.
Boy, I tell you, Luai is just swinging with authority, and even though the block was there, there's nothing they could do with that.
This is Mariah Robertson, 16 service points already, make it 17 service points for her in this match.
Four-year varsity player, and I'll tell you, she has been the difference in the match in my estimation. First, she's been terrific at passing, and then her service excellence has been the difference.
Another opportunity for Manu, and another kill for Precious Manu.
And just the kind of start that the Pirates did not need as they're digging themselves a hole here in the third. But another great decision by Manu. She goes down the line, she's mixing it up. Whether she goes cross-court or down the line, they don't seem to have much of an answer for her.
Let's see if San Pedro can have an answer here serving. Trailing 6-3 in the third set. They've lost the first two. Again, both teams wearing black uniforms. This is San Pedro in the gold and black, substituting in.
Just a little question as to who she can sub out for. And so they're going to send Garcia off, and Trevino will stay in the contest.
So San Pedro looking for a spark from someone. We'll see if Vanessa Ruiz, the junior, can provide it with this serve.
She's got a pretty good velocity on that serve. Let's see if she can get a run going.
That's a good start. You can see why they wanted to sub her in.
Well, earlier in the match, she had a little bit of a run and then had one that looked like it was awfully close to being in, but it was just out. And I thought next time she gets around, let's see if she can run 4 or 5 in a row.
That one goes into the net, and you know, again, with the rally scoring, all those become extra critical, but especially when you're behind, you hate to see that.
Here we go. Now you'll see some miles per hour.
That point is in. It's an ace for Precious Manu.
It's that top spin that causes it to drop a little bit quicker than you would think if it was a knuckleball. I think the back row of the Pirates felt that was going out.
That one goes into the net.
Boy, but
if nothing else, it's intimidating.
She doesn't miss by much.
So this is Paige Peterson who will serve for San Pedro. Set that time is for Alalua. Once again, Robertson there with the dig. Alalua not able to get the point. Robertson's everywhere. Sandmore that time with the double hit.
Nobody came to her rescue. She didn't pass it the way she wanted to, but everyone was caught flat-footed and she had no options there.
There's Mariah Kunipo-Aguirre. She's being recruited by some Northern California schools and some East Coast schools. 4-year varsity player, libero last year. She serves that one into the net. Too good of a swinger, and they've had other players who could do the libero position, and so Kunipo-Aguirre was moved to off the libero position. 9-6 as Lopez serves into the net again. Perhaps trying to do a little bit too much.
Service errors have been the bane of the Pirates here throughout the match. Just when it seems like they're gathering a little momentum and have a chance for a run, sometimes you need to just get it in play. And what's good for one is good for the other.
That's
and
right.
Here's another chance for the Pirates to climb back into this. They only trail by 3. And they're passing here in the third. In the beginning, just like it was in the second, it is a little crisper. It's a little bit more in system.
Defina Ojeda to serve. And that one is in. Another kill for Tom.
Oh,
no?
Wow, no, you are correct. The call was in, but it looked to me like it was out, and so the Pirates felt the same way, and so we're going to have a little discussion. It happened right in front of Coach Ross, and I don't think he would complain that vociferously, but it looked to me like that was clearly out. It's close to our vantage point, and I think they're going to rule it no point, and that's not a bad judgment by our lead official.
Tough to tell there with the yellow line, but I think that might have been out, but either way, probably good that they replayed it. Meanwhile, the serve from Ojeda goes into the net. So our score is 11-7, Carson leading. Carson serving on the left side. 8 service errors this set, total.
Yeah, that's just handing your opponent 3 points, and when you're trying to come back down 0-2, you just can't have that.
This is the freshman, Lovia Iasua, who had a couple of very impressive serves in the second set. Let's see if she can do it again.
Her sister Doreen was the captain of the outstanding 2010 Carson team that lost. They ran the table in the Marine League and then lost in the finals in 5, losing 15-12 in the 5th to Granada Hills.
There's an ace for Iasua. I'm sure her older sister would be proud of that serve. 12-7 now, the score, Carson leading.
Doreen's playing at Long Beach City College, although I think she's redshirting this year, but she's got a bright career ahead of her.
And another excellent serve leads to the point.
Yeah, difficult serve received. The pass just not where they could do anything with it.
For Mila, and that one was blocked out of bounds, and so the point for San Pedro.
Yeah, one of the better sets that Mila's had a chance to deliver, and you'll see it here again. She's got a powerful right-hand swing, and I just think they haven't set her enough.
Haven't had a lot of opportunities. Let's see if they can set her again. This time they go to Peterson, and Peterson's able to deliver the kill.
That's her best swing of the match, in my estimation. She went up with confidence, swung with authority, and that's well placed on the cross court. Look again. She defeats the double block, and it doesn't get any more crisp than that.
Tiffany Conlapan with the serve. That goes out. Once again, the service errors have really been hurting San Pedro.
Missed opportunity there to get a little bit of a run going, because if you can run 3, 4, 5 in a row, the other team starts to doubt themselves a little bit, and you can climb back in when all seems lost. But you gotta run more than 1 in a row.
That one goes right into the net, and so Carson pulling away now, 2-0 lead, 15-9 here in the 3rd set. As Tani Lua Palamana with another serve. Back attack that time from Fernanda Lopez. First time that we've seen setting for the back row, and it leads to a point.
And sometimes when things aren't going well at the net, if you set for the back, you got a lot more angles in which to choose to hit from, and we haven't seen much of that.
Serve from Neil Marichuk with a dig by Robertson. And that's going to lead to a point for San Pedro. They'll take him any way they can get him.
Well, and Luai says, my bad. She didn't recognize the overpass quickly enough, and no one was there. You'll watch on the overpass here. This should be put away by Carson, but nobody got to it despite a terrific effort by Iasua.
Manu, that time it's dug out by Ojeda. From the back row, Milacek with another kill. They're trying to get her going, starting to get some momentum here.
Exactly right. This is really a well-placed set, and there, bang, you've got your biggest swinger with a lot of different options from there.
And that one a little bit too much mustard on it.
Yeah, the adrenaline probably flowing a little bit for Mila. Needed to take just a touch off of that one.
Back to Mariah Robertson, who's been one of the big stories of this match. With her digs, with her service points. And that one goes right into the net. And now an opportunity once again for San Pedro, trailing 16-13.
Still very much alive here in the 3rd. That's one of the few service errors that I can remember from Robertson.
Ruiz to serve again. Opportunity for San Pedro. And a great block that time by Viridiana Ramos.
She's a tough solo blocker. She missed the first match with Narbonne, where Narbonne won in 4 because she was being on a recruiting trip. And somehow I think she would have had a pretty positive effect on that match.
Another service error as Manu went back to the jump serve. She's missed 2 in a row of those now. Still only trailing by 3 is San Pedro. Back to Paige Peterson's serve. Each side just trying to find some space. Not the prettiest of point, but Carson will end up with it.
I think the Pirates missed an opportunity there on the first overpass. Instead of going right back over the net, had they got into system there, might have had a chance.
So 18-14 is our score. Carson leading San Pedro. On the timeout, you take a look there at Daniela Klein instructing her team. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Sandwich Saloon. Since 1986, the Scrumbus and Philopoulos families have been reinventing home-style food with new ideas for salads, sandwiches, hamburgers, and more. Customers know that when they go in to the Sandwich Saloon, they will be greeted with warmth and an ingratiating smile. Their delicious food is equally matched by a warm feeling of family and community. The Sandwich Saloon, quality great food since 1986. Four-point game here in the third set, Paul.
No, I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sure Coach Klein was just reminding her girls that this match is there for the taking. No time to lose focus right now. There have been some passing errors that we didn't see in the first 2 sets for Carson here in the third, and they're allowing San Pedro to hang around a little bit.
Unipo Aguirre with the serve. Set for Lopez. And the point for Carson. I think Fernanda Lopez looks like a very good athlete, excellent jumping ability, hasn't been able to get going on track, and she transferred, and so this is only her second match after that new rule, October 1st, so she's still trying to get in the swing of things, literally and figuratively.
Exactly right. I think probably a little bit of rust there, but you can see she's a fine player, fine athlete.
And another point for Carson, and they're pulling away now, 20-14. Looking for a straight set victory to move into sole possession of second place in the Marine League and set up a big match against Narbonne later this week. And that swing by Tiffany Kalopin is too deep. 21-14.
Unipo Aguirre was second on the team in the aces last year, and you can see she's very good at not trying to do too much with the serve.
And a little bit too much with the back set. Tough angle there for Lopez, 22-14 Carson.
Yeah, she couldn't do much with that, as you mentioned. The set was just a little bit deep off the antenna, and now Carson can smell a sweep here now.
Set for Lopez. Once again, Robertson the dig. Nice job that time. But the point goes to San Pedro. Precious Manu kept it alive, but then San Pedro able to come up with the point.
But what a great reaction by Ojeda. The better players see the play about a step ahead. And you'll see how Ojeda, after the overpass, gets there.
Just punching it over and nearly getting to a point that time was Ojeda. And now it will be a point for San Pedro. Not giving up, they're only down 6, 22-16. I've seen stranger things.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And they're getting some fire from Ojeda. She is one of the team's leaders, and her energy will be critical here.
Lopez goes big with that serve and gets it in. But an equally big swing by Lua Falamana. 23-16 Carson, 2 points away from the match.
She's an exciting player for a junior. Her sister Taryn playing over at El Camino College for LaValle Patterson, who's been the coach over at El Camino for over 20 years. But Tawny's got a bright future as well.
this time with the set. And it's going to be another, nope, they kept it alive initially, even though it was off the head of one of the San Pedro players, but again, another point for Carson.
Yeah, it looks to me like the Pirates they just gave up on the point.